Hello and welcome to the Extreme Z Podcast, the only Dokkan podcast making your favorite talk show format relevant again. I'm your host, Epic Mewtwo, aka Dokkan Assets.
And I'm your co-host, Kevon.
And we have a special guest with us today, Kevon's mom snoring. Listen, if you've listened to this podcast for any length of time, you know that Mama Vaughn, or Mama Sparker, I don't know what we call her, has been featured in many a podcast for her great snoring ASMR. Listen, bro, we record too late. We apologize.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's all right, though. It's all right. It won't hinder your viewing experience. If anything, if you like ASMR, drop a like down below.
All right, let's I think we should
the train, the track. Let's get back on it real quick. Today we are going to be talking about Global catching up to JP almost. There are
well, yeah, but actually no.
There's a couple of things that Global still needs to get before it could be completely considered caught up to JP, but we wanted to mainly today talk about banners because that is sort of the hot button topic of everybody's thoughts at the moment about Global and JP and where they are and whatnot at the moment, because we are closer than we ever have been to each other in terms of versions, version features and also banners. We are only, two banners away?
We have Gotenks and Boo, Jiren, Turles, and the Blue Boys, and now Frieza, so around 5.
Yeah, well, if we don't count LR banners, because we kind of really, because those can be kind of thrown anywhere. For Dokkan Fest, though, it's only 3. Mm-hmm. Which is still
which are coming literally probably next week.
Yeah. Absolutely insane. So we'll talk about that a little bit later. By the way, we will give you a little hint, or something maybe about the next episode later in the episode as well. But for now, of course, we're gonna talk about our news. So there was actually a ton of stuff that happened, at least on the JP side. Some controversial stuff as well that happened on the Global side. I've already covered that lengthy on the channel already with the news video and the community response, so definitely check that out if you haven't yet. But let's go ahead and hop into some JP news. We're starting technically
Mr. Asset Man.
Thank you. We're taking it away technically at the 13th because there's no news at the 11th, so let's just jump right into it. We had the Learn How to Fly event go up, as well as the return of Raditz's EZA. And guess what finally dropped, bro? That's right, the homie Kid Buu got his EZA. Let's go, baby. What a great unit. This was one that I know that a lot of people were really anticipating this guy getting an EZA. So it's really cool that he finally got one. And I think the general consensus is that people like him. Right?
Yeah, he's a very good unit.
Yeah.
He didn't get that much of a buff, but he didn't really need it. He only really needed defense.
Which is what he got, right? He basically got what he needed.
Yeah, pretty much.
He did what he needed to do. Pure Saiyan's banner went up.
He's busted.
Yeah, he is busted. I mean, he was kind of still before, and then they're like, let's just make him more OP. I appreciate it, though. Since he's the only Kid Buu in the girl. I mean, what? Anyway, Pure Saiyan's banner went up. We also had a... I believe this was the first round. Yes, the first round of the 200% perfect combat simulation event go up. I did also do a separate video on this on the channel, but this was an extremely interesting event. This is very much unlike anything that Dokkan has done before in terms of the way that it was.
Definitely.
Yeah, format.
Definitely a curve.
It was kind of like the Hercule breaking tiles event, but basically the idea of this was that every 3 or so days, it would change to a different category, and whatever category was currently active, that was the category that you were supposed to use on the event. You could only use one item, and you could yet not use nuking leads. So it was quite interesting. This event was supposed to simulate, because you fought Super Saiyan Blue Goku, it was supposed to simulate when Frieza was doing the image training in Hell, because they ask him like, oh, how did you maintain your golden form while you were in the cocoon? And he's like, oh, I just imagined beating you up over and over.
And that somehow worked.
Yeah.
Thank you, Frieza.
So yeah, pretty cool concept overall for the event. I do hope that they do more stuff like that because it was definitely quite interesting. Kid Buu's banner went up as well, obviously, for the EZA. We did also have the story event Threats to Attack, Fighting Race Saiyan. Thank you, DVC Space.
Oh, wow.
The event with like the int map and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah. Gotcha. Stain Saga then, basically.
Yeah. Obviously, we had the regular Raditz event go up as well. There was also apparently a bug here. Details of the bug, Majin Beyond All. If you try to perform... Oh, yeah. So this actually happened on stream, interestingly enough.
Really?
If you try to perform the Ultimate Z Awakening, aka ECA, of Majin Buu, parentheses pure, an error may occur, and you may not normally be able to perform the Extreme Z Awakening. At the time, depending on the use, the application may be forcibly terminated or title screen will be returned. The Awakening medal will not be accidentally consumed due to the above phenomenon. If it occurs, it may be resolved by restarting the app. So, yeah, this happened on stream because all the homies on stream were like, what? Basically, when I was streaming, I encountered this issue myself. When you go to EZA Kid Buu, I don't remember if it's the first set of bronze medals or the second set, but when you go to EZA him, it says, you know how on the bottom it tells you like, it has little like number 1 because it tells you how many awakenings are going to take place?
Yeah.
It had a negative one.
First is the Awakening.
the reverse EZA, bro. But so very, very odd error there. And
how does that happen?
I don't know. So the medals just don't get consumed, and it basically like just doesn't let you EZA him when you click the button, and it kicks you back to the title screen. A quick little refresh of the app does wonders for you because it basically just fixes the game. But it was still extremely weird. It was a very odd a very odd bug. I don't know if anybody clipped it. I know it's in one of my streams, but I know a lot of people were actually experiencing this issue because I saw a bunch of people tweeting about it as well. And this is the first time that something like this has happened. And I'm sure it was only so noticed because it was Kid Buu and he was a really highly anticipated EZA. So
fair, I can see that.
Kind of weird. But there wasn't really any reimbursement for that or anything. Because I mean, it didn't really cause you any problems. You just restarted the game and you were fine. But yeah, it was kind of weird. Chain battle rewards went out from the last chain battle. We did have the Ginyu event. Oh, I actually I should have done that event. Dang it. The Ginyu event came back, which was pretty cool. We had the fight versus Frieza where you could farm the Kai. I guess I should probably specify which Kai, right? Because that could be a bunch of them. The Mr.
That can mean many things. Yeah,
yeah, Mr. Kaioken himself is the one that you could farm. That's also where you could farm the second form Frieza. What does DBZ Space call this? Let's see, the worst clan in the universe.
I mean, not inaccurate.
True. The EZA Frieza event and the Cooler event for the ones from the Baba Shop came back as well. We did have a new special event announcement. This was the announcement for the upcoming Halloween event, which was Grandpa Gohan and Pan versus Grade 8 Baby Goku. And this brought us the very first and probably only duo Pan and Grandpa Gohan card.
Dokkan Wild and Out.
For real, bro. We played this story event on stream, bro, and like it's kind of funny because like it's a fun little story event. I mean, the power scaling doesn't really make sense. It's on some Dragon Ball Heroes type power scaling, but
yeah.
My favorite thing about this is that this event technically implies that like the only reason why Goku's as strong as he is because of Pan.
Well, in this universe where Grandpa Gohan lives, probably.
Well, we don't even know if he does yet, I don't think. Because technically that could have just happened.
I mean, fair enough.
Yeah, like that could have just happened before he died. You know what I mean? I don't know. Yeah, who knows? But either way, it was fun. It's always nice when Dokkan does some original content. Because obviously if they, whenever they do like stuff from the anime, it's always cool to relive some of those moments and see how they do it. But it's always nice to have something fresh and see Dokkan's take on things occasionally. So this was a very fun story event, albeit pretty short. And the unit is pretty cool too. So very good stuff there. Yeah. I like it, bro. Obviously that event we'll talk about a little bit later when it releases technically in our timeline here. We had the other Kai banner reset. The Planet Namek event came back. We had the Extreme Z area for Slug and Goku come back. And I know you're probably thinking, wow, this seems like a lot of story events related to a lot of EZAs returning. And you would be right, because we had the announcement of the EZA for the STR Prime Battle Frieza, aka Frieza. Thank you, Doozy Space. Very cool.
Nice.
Basically, to be able to EZA this man, if you remember, when it came to Everlasting Legend Goku, aka, LR Tech Goku, the boy, the first LR, the Prime Battle one, you had to have 6 characters all farmed up, all EZA'd, all SA15, and all Rainbow. All Rainbow, yep. To be able to challenge the event and to be able to EZA him. They're doing something this time around very similar, and you're going to have... Let me go from the end to the beginning, because the last one is the biggest kicker. So you need the STR Krillin from the Baba Shop, which, by the way, he is getting an Awakening and an EZA, which is pretty cool. Piccolo, the AGL one. STR Gohan, the one that was, from the Planet Namek celebration, and, the one where he gets the power from Guru. The Kaioken Goku from the Slug movie, AGL free-to-play Bardock from that story event. He also is getting an Awakening and an EZA because of this. And the biggest kicker of them all, bro, LR Prime Battle Goku himself. That's right. If you want to awaken Frieza, you have to have Prime Battle Goku all complete, which means that by that logic, you also had to have all 6 of the previous units done, because obviously you couldn't do LR Prime Battle Goku's EZA without all of those guys. So, wow.
This is the biggest grind yet.
Yes, this is I don't think I've seen more grindy endgame content in my life.
I mean, I beg to differ for that personally, but that's the biggest Dokkan I've done.
Listen, bro, that could be a whole podcast topic. This is only the news section. But anyway, though, so very interesting choice here. It does kind of make me wonder if their decision going forward on this is going to be that you're going to need every single Prime Battle LR that has been EZA'd previously to be able to get the new one. Because that means that, like, by the time we get to, like, Prime Battle Krillin, you're going to need, like, Goku, Frieza, Trunks, Imperfect Cell. You're going to need, like, all the boys to be able to EZA that, man. So I don't know if they're going to necessarily go that route. Maybe they're only including Goku just because he kind of fits with the theme of Frieza, because obviously all of the units that have been necessary for the EZA of these Prime Battle units have been related to the character, like with Goku, right? It was a bunch of Friezas, coolers, stuff like that, because those are all ones that fought Super Saiyan Goku, right? And in this case, with the first form Frieza, obviously, you know, Piccolo, Gohan, and Krillin all fought him. Kaioken Goku was there. Technically, Bardock fought him for like 2 seconds. Obviously, Super Saiyan Goku also fought Frieza. So,
yeah,
maybe what they'll do... Yeah. Maybe what they'll do instead is, like, for example, right, when Prime Battle Trunks gets his EZA, they'll have that. And then when Imperfect Cell's EZA comes out, maybe you'll need Trunks EZA'd.
And they can also have it so that if with Trunks to free-to-play future androids, you can give them an EZA, require them to be rainbowed, all that.
Mm-hmm.
That would be nice. I want those to do EZA, but regardless.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens with that. It'll be quite interesting, all things considered, to see how they handle that. Because, like, only some of these characters really have relation to each other, though. Like, I mean, I guess technically Vegeta is when he first appeared as a Super Saiyan, so I suppose that kind of relates to Cell and Trunks, but kind of not really. And Krillin doesn't really fit here because he's from the Saiyan saga.
Is the odd one out for now.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see if they try and continue with that Prime Battle theming, or if they really just decide to be like, you need every Prime Battle LR to awaken Krillin.
I hope not. But...
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. But nonetheless, though, moving on from that, I love how this event is translated. Story event held, Zero Human Plan, or excuse me, Human Zero Plan.
It's not wrong.
Obviously, this is the event where you can farm the SSR for the LR Zamasu Goku. Thank you, voice crack. Very cool.
We need for LR Prime Battle Goku, by the way. Remember.
Which is nice. I will say that they brought back literally all of the events that you needed to be able to get the characters to farm Prime Battle LR Goku's EZA, because obviously you literally wouldn't be able to do Frieza's without that. So good stuff on Bandai's part there. We also obviously had Goku's EZA area return. This was technically the first time that it has ever returned for Frieza's events, so that was also pretty cool. We did have the upcoming announcement of the 37th Tenkaichi Budokai, which is currently going on during the recording of this video, but will be over by the time that this is up, I believe anyway. So, this was actually a pretty cool world tournament because they introduced a Sword Gohan as the prize unit from when he was training with Piccolo, I believe. And it's pretty cool. I really, really like this card, and I think a lot of people have actually been waiting for this moment for Gohan to be in the game. So pretty cool stuff there. Very excited to be able to use him because I'm planning on, you know, getting him and then dipping out of the World T.
Understandable.
Yeah, but obviously besides that, Bulma's Genius Battle Prep, I can never say the name of that event correctly. With this world tournament as well, we did have awakenings for the AGL Masked Grandpa Gohan. Wait a minute. Masked Grandpa Gohan. That's technically correct, but that sounds kind of funny considering Masked Saiyan exists. But anyway, yeah, so he got an awakening, as well as the Fizz Chi-Chi from the World Tournament banner. And we actually had some pretty cool stuff with the Ssr banners this time around. The prize Gotenks was added to the SSR pool. Or sorry, the Chi-Chi is from the SSR pool, my bad, not the Dragon Ball banner. And then for the general SSR pool banner, this banner was fire, bro. Bardock was on it, the Dragon Ball Super Broly one, and the Dragon Ball Super Broly, Super Saiyan Goku, and Vegeta that go into the God ones was on there. Really good stuff this time around for that banner. Nice. I was like genuinely impressed. Like, I'm never impressed with those banners because you know, for me, I'm like, bro, it's, you know, the prize cards are bust. But I saw that and I was like, let's go, baby. That's good stuff. So, anyway, that is just it for the news that DBZ Space has, because I don't know what's been going on with DBZ Space, but they haven't been updating the JP side of things. I don't know if that's like the homie Renzi is, like something's not updating in the background or whatever, but it's been going mad slow. So, thankfully we have the news channel from the Discord. Yay, linked in the description.
Wow.
They have it news. So yeah, basically we got a lot more news besides that. Before what is currently happening now in Dokkan, was announced. We did have the announcement from the most recent VGem scans of an upcoming Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, which is very, very exciting. People have been waiting for this man for a fat minute now. Interestingly enough, though, he is going to be only a normal Dokkan Fest exclusive. He's not going to be a dual Dokkan Fest. Yeah. So there was a lot of conflicting opinions about that because, what this meant is that then he's not going to be the anniversary unit, which some people were happy about, some people were sad about. Personally, I was kind of happy about it because I didn't really want another GT anniversary. Kayvon, what did you think? I never actually think I heard.
I mean, I'm fine with the anniversary being something new, but I do feel like that he should have at least been a dual fest with Omega.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
It's been 4 years since our last Gogeta, and I feel like this is almost doing him dirty a little bit.
A little bit, yeah. I'm glad that we're getting him nonetheless, though. I know that some people are speculating, and obviously it's just speculation. There's no, fact to back it up, but that we might get a LR Omega Shinron for, a potential part 2, so... that would be pretty sick. Or even if they don't call it a part 2, you know how technically Turles came after Frieza, and it's not like he's the part 2. I don't think technically, but whatever. It would probably be a part 2.
We got Turles. I don't think so. They'll release another one so soon.
Yeah, we'll see. So also some other interesting things came out of this V-Jump scan. Oh, by the way, if you're curious, the Ssr is the light that protects the universe, and the T-War is unmatched superpower. That could be literally every unit of the game.
Yeah.
Interesting. But yeah, so pretty cool stuff there. There is also apparently going to be a new story event based on episode 55 of Dragon Ball GT. And this is apparently going to be a Vegeta that transforms from Vegeta GT into Vegeta GT Ozaru.
I'm pretty sure that's when he TUR, actually. I don't know if that's actually a transformation. So it could also be that the Ozaru Vegeta becomes Saiyan 4 Vegeta as a transformation.
Yeah.
That would be so hype.
That would be sick.
That would be unheard of for a free card too.
Yeah. That would be really cool.
Like a 684 Vegeta for free, that's big.
Yeah, that would be really cool. So very, very good stuff there. And as well, in that V-Jump scan, the other big thing in terms of news that we got was that Dragon Ball Heroes was confirmed to have an upcoming collab with Dokkan.
Oh, boy.
So that will be very, very exciting. Obviously, that means the return of the Dragon Ball Heroes units, because those homies literally never come back. So that will be very cool to see them returning. As well, obviously, we usually get some new Dragon Ball Heroes units, so that'll be super exciting. Super Saiyan 4 Xeno Goku, please, 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 please.
I pray soon enough this means they'll be in the unfeatured pool.
Yeah, I really hope that with this banner. Yeah, no, I hope so. With this banner, I hope they put them in the unfeatured pool, because the last time the fusions came back, or no, did they just throw them in there? I don't even remember.
They just threw them in there, especially on gold.
I gotta get in there. But anyway, yeah, so that'll be super exciting to see what they come up with. It'll be interesting to see if they keep up with the trend of releasing Heroes characters that are kind of like a couple Heroes sagas behind, or if they do decide to release some new stuff. So only time will tell on that. We literally have no other information besides the text that just says, hey, it's coming. So yeah. That will be exciting when that does drop. And then the other super hype thing that we got. That's right. I'm going to bamboozle you before we get to what you thought we were going to talk about. Pre-orders went up for the 6th anniversary Dokkan Ichiban Kuji, aka Ichiban show figures. We talked about these, I don't think actually at all on the podcast. Basically, Exactly. Basically, the Ichiban Kuji for the 6-year anniversary went up and revealed that it was going to be the LR Int God Goku transforming Trunks the final form of the Spirit Sword, Zamasu Goku LR, Int LR Gohan, and Bipan. Which, by the way, cool that we're getting figures of those particular characters, but even more so relevant to Dokkan is, that meant that soon enough we would get the leak or whatever whatever would inevitably lead us to whoever the LR would be, because what they do every year is they have a Ichiban Kuji special prize figure from the Ichiban Kuji lottery be one of the 6-year LRs. Last year was Vegito, the year before was Super Saiyan 4 Goku, and then they have a prize figure from Bam Presto. Last year was Gogeta, the year before was Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. By the way, if you would like to pre-order those, link in the description. Let's chill, boys. But we did have some incredible breaking news that apparently the special reward for the 6th anniversary Dokkan Kuji is going to be Ultra Instinct Goku, which means that Ultra Instinct Goku is confirmed as one of the 6th anniversary LRs. Very, very exciting stuff.
I don't think we're talking about Omen, because they would probably say that.
Yes, I assume that they would say that.
White hair.
Yeah. I don't think that they would also make it Omen, considering we have LR Omen Goku. That would be kind of a big waste.
Transforming.
I know, but at the same time, I don't know. I don't think they want to make their golden boy Int UI irrelevant.
I mean, they already have.
Even more irrelevant, bro. But nonetheless, though, very, very exciting stuff here. This was funny enough. This is such an odd turn of events. This was leaked on a Spanish figure inventory website, of all things. Funny enough, the page is taken down now. And I was actually informed by the Dragon Ball figure aficionado god, whatever you want to call him, Baggy Saiyan, one of the best people in the community when it comes to Dragon Ball figures and Dragon Ball figure info. The homie actually told me in the DMs that apparently the source is the distributor as well. So apparently it was Bandai themselves who leaked it. Yeah. So I don't know. Kind of an interesting little piece of info there. So I don't know what they were thinking. Maybe they did it on purpose to drum up hype. I could honestly see it. To be fair, though, I guess we don't know if it was like Bandai Spirits, right? Because there's like a bunch of different, there's Bandai Namco, Bandai Spirits, there's regular Bandai. Literally, bro, Bandai be doing that shadow clone jutsu out here. They got so many Bandais.
Are there any other Bandais you need to know
about? But yeah, so that is super exciting. By the way, that does kind of lead us to speculate that Blue Evolution Vegeta is going to be the other LR for the anniversary. Obviously, at the moment, we don't know. Or another Jiren. Yeah. I mean, well, a lot of people are saying that it's not going to be Jiren just because we obviously have LR full power Jiren. I would, oddly enough, even though I really want just a regular, what is technically Mastered Ultra Instinct Goku. Sorry, Ningen, I know you don't like it when we call him that. But I would technically like, well, not technically, I would like a transforming, like, regular Jiren into full power. But, I still don't think they're going to do Jiren since they just did the full power one a little while ago. And obviously, Blue Evo literally has technically no cards in the game, but technically one card because of the transformation. He doesn't have any like solo cards.
I will say two things on a little speculation side. There could be a little certain someone from
the what? You cut out there.
From the manga.
Oh, yeah, I did see some people talking about Moro as well.
Or, just imagine out of nowhere, LR Kefla.
I sure hope not.
I would honestly laugh, but I doubt it. It's confirmed either going to be Jiren or Blue Evo, because with them releasing the Omen UI already, I feel like another Jiren isn't too unlikely.
True.
And Blue Evo hasn't had a freaking transforming one.
Yeah.
So
it's been a while. It's definitely been a while. So that was very, very, very exciting about all of that. Obviously, I know that a lot of people were super, super hyped to hear that. I know I was. A lot of people were also, interestingly enough, disappointed. I did see some homies on the TL being like, Skip. And I was like, bro. I mean, some people I know aren't big fans of the Tournament of Power. And obviously I know some people are kind of expecting Gogeta for the anniversary. So it is what it is. But it was interesting to see the community reaction to all of that stuff.
I feel like UI Goku is honestly almost becoming the next fusions to fall back on for anniversaries.
Yeah, I mean, I could see it. I think that Dokkan kind of understands it at this point. What's the meme that I should reference here? Oh no, accessing the meme library. You know, we are sick and tired of fusions. Like
either fusions, Super Saiyan 4s, or UI Goku at this point.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, we've only had two though.
Of what? Of which?
UI Goku.
Int and LR, yeah, fair.
Yeah, well, actually, unless you count the free-to-play one, but that kind of doesn't really apply.
I honestly forgot he existed, I'll be honest.
Yeah, I did too, until this very moment, because I was like, wait, that art is fire.
I guess the fact that he already has an LR, people are just like, oh, thing.
I mean, but like, bro, Gogeta and Vegeta have a billion LRs. Vegeta, here, you're cutting out a lot.
Hold on, let me leave rejoin.
No, you're good. Vegito, I know, he has a couple now. So, I mean...
Vegeta only really has two. Vegito has more.
Yeah. I mean, it is kind of interesting to see, regardless, though, that some of the homies, you know, were not too excited about it. But, I mean, again, I definitely respect it. You know, you like what you like, of course. But we'll see. I do think, though, that I would hope that people would be excited for Blue Evo at least, only because of the fact that he literally only has one card, technically.
There's only one way I could see people really be happy about the Blue Evo, which is if he has the final explosion.
That's true. There's a fan card of that. There's a really good tech blue Vegeta fan card of him doing the final explosion.
Which actually, another thing about it, a very good thing they could do. UI Goku with an unfeatured Jiren on his banner. Blue Evo with an unfeatured God of Destruction Toppa.
That could be true. Yeah, that.
And then LR with an MVP 17 for part 2.
Yeah, no, that could be cool. I would definitely be down with it. Yeah, bro, I don't know how that man doesn't have an LR.
Bro, he only has one Dokkan Fest. Like, come on, man. Put some more respect on his name.
Yeah, I don't know, bro. I got no clue.
One staying strong.
Yeah. Very interesting.
But yeah.
But anyhow, though, that was very exciting stuff. We'll see. On the figure side of things, just a quick note. Regardless of whether we get all of those characters, to be honest, it'll kind of be a dub for all of them. Because if you're unfamiliar with how the Dokkan figures have gone, every year the Bam Presto figure has been just getting better and better. Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta was really good. Gogeta was even better for last year. And Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta was... Or Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. Super Saiyan 4 Goku from the Ichiban Kuji side of things was terrible. And Vegeta was even worse. So,
wow.
In terms of figures, the fact that UI Goku is getting the figure is good only because of the fact that if he does stink, we have plenty of other great UI figures. And Blue Evo, fun fact, has like, I don't think any. I can double check right now, but he doesn't have many. Jiren only has 2, and they're full power. And Moro obviously has none. If they, just figured I'd throw him in there. So, yeah, that'll be good for the figure side of things. By the way, that figure is also available for pre-order right now, even though we don't know what the character is, the prize figure. So link to that in the description if you would like to pre-order that. But moving on from all of that 6th anniversary stuff, we did have all of the stuff with Frieza go live, and out of nowhere, bro. Well, actually, before we talk about that, I guess we should talk about the fact, because I don't think it kind of got like lost in DBZ Space's section of the news, because unfortunately they what do you call it? They didn't obviously, since it didn't update, Ghost Tanks and Candy Vegito actually did get Easy Ace and Easy A area together, which was pretty cool. So people were very excited about that. Obviously, that was in honor of Halloween that they got one. I don't know if that technically implies that we will be getting an easy area for, like, once we get another Halloween unit after like Pan and Grandpa Gohan, then we'll get another one. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, so we'll see if they decide to do that. But the real big surprise of this whole dealio was all of that stuff. We're like, okay, cool. It's a pretty nice celebration. Out of nowhere, bam, LR Turles' army, bro. This was such an odd thing, because like no one saw this coming. Literally, and Dokkan, good on you, bro, for doing it this way. They finally tweeted the essay and the card art first before they did the data download. Thank God. Because they've been mad slacking on that, bro, lately. They've been letting data miners run wild, and then they post the official stuff and no one cares. They posted LR Turles' essay before any data downloads happened, and it was hype. It was hype, bro. I popped on the TL and I blinked twice because I couldn't believe what I was watching. It was amazing. So LR Turles' army was announced as the newest LR banner. A very, very cool LR. The first LR, by the way, that can use their active skill twice. Which is quite interesting. We have never had an LR that could do that before. So very nice stuff here. Why Turles' army of all things to give it to?
Very good question.
Yeah, I don't know.
No idea.
Very odd, but nonetheless pretty cool. And obviously the card was sort of just well timed for Halloween, because it's weird. Like, they don't technically call it a Halloween unit, but they also don't not call it a Halloween unit.
I mean, fair.
So it's like, it was also really weird too how they did the news with him, because they announced a celebration for JP for their Halloween celebration. And then they didn't put Turles in there.
Huh.
Like, they announced the entire celebration. They didn't put Turles' banner in there, even though they had announced Turles on Twitter. And then his banner just went live, like, out of nowhere. It was very weird.
Yeah, they usually do that with LR banners. I don't know why, though.
Yeah, very weird, because you would think that they would want to hype that up. I don't know.
Yeah.
Very odd, very odd.
Maybe the no JP players will most likely summon it anyways.
I guess so. I mean, bro, I never thought I'd say this, bro, but I'm simping for Turles. Yeah. Me and the boys out here simping for Turles. You already know.
No, boy.
By the way, that's it for JP news. I did want to note, though, before we moved on, for the regular size of figures, that are like, Ichiban Kuji and prize figures and stuff like that, we only have 2 Blue Evolution figures, and one of them is really rare because it was an alternate version.
Wow.
So it would be nice. Jiren also only has 2 figures, at least off the top of my head. I'm not looking at it, a reference image here. But Jiren also only has 2 figures of that size, and they are both full power Jiren. They're both big buff boy. So
Gotcha.
yeah, even Blue Evo doesn't have an SH Figuarts figure, believe it or not, and both of Jiren's forms are represented like that. So
Huh.
What I'm trying to tell you is Blue Evo, please.
Fair.
Moving on. It's JP time. Or JP
No,
time. Sorry, bro.
wait a minute.
I got my favorite version on the mind, bro.
It's all JP, always has been.
Speaking of, there is a little bit of a controversy comparatively.
True.
Well, hop to it, gamer.
Alright, so on Global, we got the EVA of the Tech Supreme Kai Absorbed Boo. Some story events came back.
That was actually pretty exciting, though, to be fair.
Yeah, there. The Rising Dragon Carnival that gave the TUR for Oceania Shenron, Princess Oto, I think is how you say it.
Princess Octavius. We also Spider-Man.
Yeah, there you go. And the launch that now transforms. It's funny how she went from blonde to blue-haired back to blonde. Thank you, launch. So those are on Global now. We got, oh boy, Chain Battle versus Super Saiyan Broly. Funny enough, this one actually wasn't that bad.
And ironically enough, this was actually, because of the order that they did things, they introduced Chain Battle with Super Boo, but on JP, this was actually the first Chain Battle.
Yeah, pretty much.
And it's really easy compared to everything else.
Definitely, yeah. We got the Raditz Extreme Z area. Very nice for that.
Oh yeah, that hadn't come at all, right?
Yeah, I think this was new. Yeah,
which was cool.
We got the announcement of please update Google Play services.
Wow.
Which basically told us in November we are getting the update JP currently got that sadly introduces the safety net. But it means we will get Kai's not taking up all our storage anymore.
Let's go. I can't wait.
We got the Saiyan Saga events, Raditz, and the Int Napa event. We got the weekend summon login bonus. And it's usual. You get 7 tickets through the week, and on the weekend you get 7 more. Very nice. Free summons for LRs, you know how it'd be.
Good stuff.
We got the Halloween event teased with Pan, Gohan, and the Full Moon Monster, Baby Goku.
Such a weird name of the event, but I mean, yeah. I get it, bro. I'm vibing.
We Chain Battle was here, and then it left, so we got the rewards.
Woo! Which that was the Broly one, right? Still.
Yes, it was. And then this is where the controversy began.
It all went downhill from here.
The Maximum Thrills Halloween campaign. We got the login bonus, special missions, a normal Dragonstone sale, and pretty much I don't know if it's a first, but this hasn't happened in a while. A Halloween Dokkan Festival, and it has no new unit. It is all returning units. It had STR Cooler, AGL Bardock, the first return of In Future Gohan.
Very weird choice.
Yeah. STR Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken, AGL Android 13, STR Namek Goku, and Fizz Transforming Vegeta. Very good banner regardless, even if there is no new unit.
Yeah, very good banner.
And you could pick any of them up with red coins too if you wanted to. So, very nice.
Which is
a Halloween
great.
Pack with this.
I just wanted to note, because of, the whole... Remember the great cooler shaftening on Global? Where,
yeah.
What banner was it that he was slated to be on and then they removed him?
Was it Kefla?
I think it maybe. You can clown on us in the comments for that one. But whatever banner it was, yeah. I remember people were memeing on it because it was like, yo, it's the cooler returning banner. And they didn't really care about whatever the new unit was. Like, people were photoshopping. Yeah, no, it was Beerus. Yeah, it was Beerus. It was Beerus. Yeah, because people were photoshopping Cooler's face over Beerus. And then the boy didn't come back.
STR Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken.
Yeah, the boy didn't come back. So, if you did miss Cooler, then this is a great time to go ahead and pick the boy up. Obviously, he was here during the download celebration, but if you didn't get him, then
Yeah. Regardless, we had the Halloween pack, very good, a free multi and a free SSR for $6 USD.
Yeah, that was $6.99. Are you kidding me, bro? For a free or for a free multi? Well, for a multi, bro.
That's only 7 units, but a free SSR.
Yeah, no, that's really good. Like, bro, if I made Global, I would have bought that in a heartbeat. No cap.
I'm probably gonna buy that next month anyway.
Yeah.
We got the Elder Kai banner, the new story event announced in the celebration. Extreme Z Area Special Characters Edition for Int, Gotenks and Ghosts, and Candy Vegito.
Woo!
Oh boy. Very, very nice seeing them easy. All the Dokkan events associated with the banner came back. And oh my goodness, all the Halloween and April Fool's events came back.
Yeah.
Which was Majibu's Candy Mischief, the Ghostly Prank, Clash Dokkan Butoden, Perfect Disguise SOS to the Fortune Teller, and Bulma's Wild Chase.
Why they chose the April Fool's events, I don't know.
A good way to bring them back besides just April Fool's, so I can't be too mad.
Is it like the trick or treat meme that like April Fool's is a trick?
Maybe.
Is that the very in-depth joke that they're going for there?
It's also probably because you need them for the Extreme Z area. That too.
Fair enough, yeah.
We have Quest EXP doubled. It's good enough.
Just make it 4 times.
I gotta save that for big celebrations. Fine. And speaking of big celebrations, finally, after 3,000 years, we start the 120 meta with Easy 8 Super 17.
Let's go.
Now, if we can get Kale and Khalifa, I'd be fine.
Bro,
one day.
I don't know if you. I just wanted to mention this just because this is like pretty insane to me. I saw people were mentioning this fun fact on the TL. It has apparently been 5 months since a traditional EZA has come to global.
Actually, that is incorrect.
Oh no, block it out.
Not to call that out, but it's almost. It was funny enough. I saw a Reddit post. Literally like 20 minutes before the reveal of the celebration, somebody commented within the next day, it'll be almost 4 months without an EZA. And then 20 minutes later, 17 got released.
Shout out to that one homie on the Reddit. That man must have popped off real quick.
Yeah, but it's been way too long because we were supposed to get Kale and Khalifa during Kefla. We didn't.
MIA, bro. Wanted. We need to post wanted. I'm gonna edit that in Photoshop, bro. Wanted posters for that.
Yeah, and then 350 million downloads happened, and yeah, it's been a while. Anyways, for whatever reason, Tech Beers and Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks are coming back. Sure.
Wait.
Good for returning players, I guess.
Oh, right. On the EZA, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why, but speaking of EZAs, Extreme Z area for the Android Cell Saga for the exchange units. Very nice seeing those come back. Dokkan events for the EZAs are coming back. And then the final Universe Survival Saga event, the Giru Saves the Day, Androids in Action, Mysterious Monster Cell, and the Perfect Cell games. They're just selling the events to farm the free units. There you go.
I appreciate it, though.
Thank you.
What?
We have the Genius Bulma's Battle Prep on Global too.
Bro, you said it right.
Finally.
Good job.
Finally, after 3,000 more years, a new world tournament, and it brings LR Demon King Piccolo.
Yeah. It has been a fat minute since a world tournament on Global.
Yeah, finally. I'm so hyped for this. And then we get the funny BoJack movie Trunks. Very cool.
Good stuff. Wait, did he not come at all? Before?
No, he hasn't been on Global, no.
Interesting.
We have the guaranteed Ssr banner. It's looking like I'm not going to summon on it because I have these 2 Vegetas rainbowed. World Tournament Support Pack. No one cares.
Oh.
You know what's at the end of all of these celebrations, Thea? Can you guess?
Please, bro, just revamp Boss Rabbit and the Kid Goku, man, bro. Please, bro, please.
Don't even have to say it. And besides that, we got a server maintenance announced for the 28th. Very interesting. Probably for the next Dokkan Fest, I'd assume.
Mm-hmm.
Weekend someone went live, and the missions went live, and that's about it on Global.
One thing that I did want to note about the Halloween banner specifically was just that I didn't remember hearing it unless it went in one ear and out the other. But two what do you call it? two versions of the banner, because there's the stone one, and then there's the ticket one.
Yes.
But yeah, you can't. Can you get all of the tickets yet? That's what I wanted to ask mainly. Then.
No, it is the 28th when you can get them.
Gotcha. Okay.
Just Part 2 missions go live for that.
Gotcha. Well, that's when you can get all.
And
Because
the
can't
first
you get some of them
multi-up,
now?
You can get like 2 or 3, I think.
Gotcha. Okay.
And the first multi-on banner was discounted. Oh, excuse me. At 40 stones.
Which
I
was
would recommend doing that because it's a very nice banner. I actually got to flex a little bit on all the stream. Or all the people watching. No, I'm kidding.
Yo,
But I
for real.
pulled me my first Namek Goku and a Android 13 dupe, so I'm very happy about that.
Nice. Nice.
Better than all of my 350 million download summons. But anyways,
That didn't
Speaking
help. I was just about to say, but that didn't help your enjoyment of the celebration either.
you're right. But speaking of summons, Global's catching up when it comes to summons.
Let's talk about that.
Segues after the sad.
And we are back.
Hope you caught up with that ad.
Wow. I did not see that one coming, but boy, am I glad that it happened.
Alright, how you guys doing?
Good, good. Why am I responding? I'm not the one being the question asked to. Oh, man. Well,
Well, let me
today...
ask you this then. What are we talking about today?
You took the words right out of my mouth, bro. I can't
Gotcha.
believe it. Gotcha game? Where?
Right here, we're playing Dokkan.
Oh, for real, bro? I'm literally grinding World T as we speak.
Bruh, playing game on the podcast. How could you?
Listen, bro, last podcast, you were... Yeah, exactly, bro. Listen, that's what most people do during this podcast anyway, I've been informed. Most people play Dokkan while they're listening, so we're just participating with the viewers is what's happening.
Exactly. Gotta have the viewer podcast relationship. You know?
The interaction? Question mark?
All right, let's not
The
let's
train, the
talk
track.
we're never on the track. Let's be honest.
That's true, bro. We're doing that multi-track drift though.
When we used to say like this podcast should be more professional. And
It
here we
is, bro.
are. Doubt.
Listen. Okay. There's a oh no, do I really want to go on this rant right now? Okay, I'll keep it to a minute.
Are you not proving my point? Are you trying to go on a rant?
Listen, bro. Listen. It's like, okay, as long as we keep to the general topic, it is our podcast. We can talk about whatever we want. And like, it's just like the production value and quality and like, you know, our discussions just have to be high quality. It doesn't mean we can't be clowns, bro. Honk honk.
What he really just said is, I'm making a podcast and nobody can stop me.
I'm making mac and cheese and nobody can stop me.
Speaking of stopping, Global should stop catching up. Got him.
Whoa, the transition
Set
was
two great
fire.
segues in one day.
All right, let's
Yeah,
get down into business to defeat JP.
Akatsuki.
Oh, okay. Close enough.
Close enough.
So essentially, what we're getting at here today is obviously you saw the title is Global's catching up to JP almost. We want to clarify right from the start. We're mostly talking about banners today. Unfortunately, it's kind of hard to fit all that information in the title. And when most people think of this topic,
We tried our best.
yeah, but your best wasn't good enough.
Bruh.
But most people think of banners and whatnot. So obviously Global is behind a fair bit of Easy A's at the moment, considering, well, you know, if you watch the earlier part of the
It's been 3,000 years for 17 ZVA.
Exactly. If you watch the beginning part of the podcast, it's been a fat minute since Global's had a traditional Easy A. So we wanted to talk about things banners wise though, because this is the closest that Global has ever been to JP in terms of banners at the moment, and I will currently scroll back in the database. Yeah, so we're talking Dokkan Fest because it's a little bit different when it comes to LRs, because like LRs you can kind of just put them anywhere.
Usually, yeah.
And people don't really consider them like on the same tier in terms of like release schedule. It kind of is like a little bit less of a big deal for people, it seems, when these banners release.
Mm.
But in terms of Dokkan Fest banners, the only characters that Global is currently missing are Gotenks and Boo, the dual Dokkan Fest. The
Which
Blue
can't be
Boys.
moved.
Yes, which can't be moved from. You want to just describe
Because
that?
so basically on JP they were Golden Week, I believe. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that always translates to the Thanksgiving celebration on Global.
Right.
So they can probably not be moved at all. Because we need a dual fest for that, always. For the past 3 years.
Right.
So anytime soon.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. They, what do you call it? So obviously those guys are going to stay there. So we kind of already know when they're coming out. Then besides that, though, the Blue Boys, aka the Super Saiyan Blue Goku and Vegeta from the Tournament of Power that
who are also... Oh my god, sorry. I'll just finish.
No, I was just going to say that are technically Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken, Goku, and
Blue
Blue
Evo,
Evo, yeah.
And those guys are like semi-locked to a celebration. Because they're most likely going to be Global's Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Because of how the Tanabata banner worked on JP this year. But it's not 100% confirmed, so that could be moved.
Mm-hmm.
Just to put that out there. So those two are like kind of locked almost.
Yeah.
And what do we have besides that?
Literally, the only other thing besides that is the newly released Angel Frieza from the Tournament of Power.
Yep.
So...
And who was before Frieza, by the way? If you don't mind me asking.
In terms of Dokkan Fests, it was 350 mil.
Tech Future. Well, was it not Tech Future Gohan before that?
Before 350 mil?
Mm-hmm.
It was Tech Ultimate Gohan. Yeah, I know you. Yeah. I know you didn't mean Future Gohan.
And who just came on Global just like 2 weeks ago?
Ultimate Gohan, baby.
That's like, let's actually take a quick trip to the Dokkan Wiki.
We need that Batman transition. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah.
Let's just look up Gohan Disambiguous. That probably would be there.
Yeah. So, it's crazy, though. You're right that they came out that quickly. Yeah.
So let's look at Gohan. Here he is. So Tech Gohan, on JP, he came out July 31st. And then globally came out October. So July, July, August, September. That's almost like that's a little under 4 months.
Yeah, that's pretty ridiculous for global.
Yeah, that's like because you also got to remember if the 350 million downloads wasn't there, that would be like a month or two shorter.
That's true. That is very true.
That's ridiculous to think about.
It's curious to see how they caught up like this, because there are a few...
There is a pretty accurate reason that most people don't understand why it is.
All right, Mr. Boo, explain to me.
So
give me the explanation. Boo-splain me.
Everybody's clowning with Ssr Blue Kaioken, but global firsts do affect the schedule more than people realize.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it this way. We got Ssr Blue Kaioken for Christmas. Right? And JP, I don't remember when JP got it.
I can look.
But JP got Ssr Blue Kaioken. And that right there becomes a null celebration for global. Because they can't reuse that celebration because we just had it.
Right.
So because of that, when we get to that point, there's nothing there. So we have to move something forward.
Goku was released after Saiyan Day with Bardock. He was released the banner after Bardock's banner. For the first time on JP.
That doesn't help even that doesn't help even more because that was a dual celebration into a Dokkan Fest that Global didn't have, or the Global already had.
Right.
So that was another thing that was missed. Because also, dual celebrations also affected too.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's another thing Global can't take. Because it already happened.
Exactly.
And I think...
You sound like you're describing how King Crimson works.
I am. How Global's timeline works.
How does it work?
But because of those two things, I guess over the years, it's just kind of caught up to us because all those bits and pieces of missing celebrations filled with global first or like filled with dual celebrations really has shortened the span of banners we have. And unless we slow down with the Halloween banner or JP speeds up, please no, for JP's sake, then there's not really much we can do about it.
And also, I think it also kind of doesn't help that before I say this part, it's a little bit hard when we're describing years in Dokkan, because a year in Dokkan you could technically be talking about like the calendar year of 2020, but you could also be talking about from 5th anniversary to 6th anniversary and other anniversaries, so on and so forth. But then that's also a little bit awkward because obviously the way that banners are placed and things are released is different between Global and JP. So it's a little bit of an oddity. Typically, though, obviously, usually everything that's released in that year is still released in the same year. It's just kind of flipped around. But this year alone, right, starting with 5th year anniversary for JP, Global we had Bardock, right, for the dual celebration. And then the fact, I mean, I guess kind of 350 mil is anticipated to happen, but that happening is also a detriment to Global in terms of, you know, when banners are placed, because that's 2 celebrations that are, you know, now something that Global can't take from. And not to mention, right, sometimes when they mix up the schedule a little bit to try and benefit them, I feel like, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I feel like sometimes it almost hurts them. Because, like, I will give you an example. Wait, what?
I was say, in a way, it does sometimes hurt more than it helps. Right.
Like, for an example, right, of a unit that technically came out during Global's 4th year, when it came out during JP's 5th year, would be LR Nappa. Because LR Nappa was released before the 5th year anniversary on Global, and was released well after 5th year anniversary on JP. So it's like, you know, then they also have to figure out, okay, well, on JP, LR Nappa was released after the SSBK banner went live, and I believe it was... I think it was also around Boo and Gotenks, so I'm not positive on that. But regardless, though, like that time slot that Nappa's banner would have gone up, now Global has to figure out something, you know, to go up during that time that they already can't. So sometimes when they switch banners around like that, they shoot themselves in the foot. But sometimes they can't not switch banners around just because of how things work.
Let's also not forget stuff like Gotenks and Boo. And even 5th year, those are static things. They cannot be moved.
Right.
And you have to move other things to make room, like not to make room, to like lead up to it.
Right? Make room, out of the way.
I'm still curious.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm still wondering, because if I'm right, I need to check. What did Trunks and Zamasu?
That would be a far scroll.
No, I'm just going to check on the Dokkan Wiki.
Gotcha,
I just want the date is all I really need.
Gotcha.
Because they were the last Golden Week units.
And they, yeah, I mean, thank God at least Golden Week isn't synced up. That would be a disaster.
This is what I'm worried about. November 12th is when he released. That's half, like, and this celebration ends around the 2nd. So unless we get some sort of countdown, they need to put something in that gap.
Oh, between the Halloween banner and Gotenks?
Yes, that's what I'm thinking. So
Jiren, possibly? Unless they save that for the Blue Boys.
I think because he's almost like, this is another unit that's kind of like hard to walk.
Or Turles.
I honestly feel we might get Turles at that rate.
That would be kind of interesting.
And that would make Turles, like, probably, besides any, like, dual celebration units, probably the fastest units to come on Global. That came on JP.
That is true. We might have to fact check that, but definitely up there.
Yeah, because I don't see what they could do, because I feel like it would be too early to start the celebration unless they do a countdown.
I 100% agree. And also, then there's no real like banner there for the countdown, though.
Yeah.
You know, it's like it's still keeping people engaged, but there's no like, nothing new to summon on. Which I guess maybe that argument is irrelevant now considering the Halloween banner, but so
yeah, I don't know.
I guess let me ask you this then. Why does it matter?
In what way are you asking?
In all the ways. No, so like
because that can be taken a lot of ways.
Well, I know up until this point, right? We've been kind of making it out like this is a very big deal, which it is, in the context of Dokkan. But like, why is it such a big deal that the banners are? Well, we already kind of talked about why it's such a big deal that the banners are moved, but why is it such a big deal that Global is almost caught up to JP? Excuse me.
Well, the only reason I think it's a big deal is because to a lot of people it would negate one of the values of Global, which would be the foresight.
Right.
But in another way, I feel it would also devalue JP in a way, because Global a lot of the time gets the better discounts, and if we ever line up, I feel bad for any JP players who just don't get tickets or things on the dual Dokkan Fest that's on the Global version at the same time.
Yeah, that's kind of just an F.
That would just be, honestly, that's demoralizing. I feel very just unfair in a way.
Oh, you speak Japanese? Catch the shaft.
And I don't know, it's just... I don't know. But you know what I'm trying to say, right?
No, definitely. I mean, it is kind of weird because, I don't know, this is definitely an unpopular opinion, and maybe people don't agree with me on this. But I always kind of felt like that even though Global's foresight is nice, I almost feel like it's an unintentional benefit to playing Global.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
Yeah, because
it's just
like
the benefit of playing a version that's behind, basically.
Right. It's because Global came out, I believe 5 or 6 months after JP. And obviously it's just because that happened to happen during that time. Like obviously when Legends released, they were synced up from the get-go because that's how they designed the game to be. And to be fair, Legends also had a lot of, history of gacha games to take a look back on in terms of, keeping the releases together. But that's neither here nor there. So there is that. There's also the fact of, like, I mean, from the game dev standpoint, I feel like that would just kind of suck because, like, also apologies if you could just hear that little Windows notification, but the whole thing with professional, right? The whole thing with, like, the developers, right, is that JP's devs are, the specific group of people who make the new cards and they design whatever content, right? And then the Global team is like 6 people who translate the cards and, make all of the global decisions and whatnot. So, I mean, for a game developer, bro, they wouldn't even need the Global team at this point. All right, I mean, maybe they would just to translate, but then it would just be like the same on both versions. And also then, obviously, this kind of relates back to the whole thing of, how you were talking about how, like, some of the anniversaries and certain celebrations can't be moved. Unless they really just said, screw Global that much, you can't move when the anniversary of something is.
See, there's only 2 solutions to that. Either Global stops celebrating its anniversary and only celebrates JP's.
Yeah.
Which, honestly, would feel really bad for Gold players, I feel.
Bro, that's like, imagine if you were just like, yeah, I'm just going to move my birthday because it's just more convenient for me. Like, imagine if people were like, you know how, like, Christmas is the homie JC's birthday? Imagine if they were like, bro, his birthday is kind of inconvenient for me. Let's just put it in July. It's like, bro, you can't just move a birthday.
Yeah. And the other solution is celebrate an anniversary for each game, as each version. So 6 months, like, so say there's JP's anniversary. and they celebrate on both versions. 6 months later, they celebrate Global's anniversary with 2 different units.
So
Which at
wow,
that point,
that could be actually a big benefit for Dokkan though, to have 2
yes
anniversaries.
and no, because while it would also be good, because let's be honest, anniversaries give so much free stuff.
True.
But the negative is the oversaturation of units, especially Dokkan Fest LRs, would double per
Right.
year. Literally, it would literally double because 2 anniversaries.
Right.
And I feel like that just wouldn't be healthy for the game.
No, I can agree with that.
And funny enough, I actually have some knowledge on this. That another whole issue is, so for anyone, for most people who probably don't know, I've been playing Warframe in the background, and
Bruh.
funny enough, it ties in. Trust me. So funny enough, I googled like if ever it'd have crossplay because it's on PC, PlayStation 4, and Switch. Probably Xbox too. I don't know about that, but from what I understand, it goes the PC version, PlayStation 4, and then Switch.
In terms of
And
content, you mean?
yes, in terms of like updates and all that.
Gotcha.
And think about this: how would they manage to sync up all those versions? Because you have to do quality of life updates. You have to make sure everything is glitch free. You have to play test it.
Right. You have to
And-
play test it for each version.
Yeah.
You have to like transfer code and stuff.
And granted, this is much less scale for a gotcha game, but even then, bugs are probably a lot more prevalent on global if they ever synced up. JP wouldn't be able to like play test anything basically for global. I just feel like it would be, while it would be good and it would to an extent be manageable, especially with global's current team being just like a few translators. I don't know if JP's team could handle doing both versions and basically syncing them up and having them both be like having the same updates. Basically, I don't know if they would be too much work for them.
I mean,
especially during this time.
I assume they would just absorb the global people into their
probably, but
you
even
know,
then,
into
that's
their
only
group.
like what 6 extra people.
Yeah, no, I guess it's not a big team.
Yeah, and I'm not saying they couldn't do it. It's just the fact that I feel like in a way, even the production value of Dokkan might suffer as a result.
Yeah, no, I could agree with that.
And like it would be a time in Dokkan if we saw essays gradually get worse because they have to do it on both versions at the same time.
I mean, well, they
Which I
are
doubt
just,
that happens.
but aren't they just making the same card for both? And they're just adding the text?
That is true. So it wouldn't be that big of it. But I'm just
No, I got
saying
you.
what comes to my mind before processing it. So that's my bad.
No, you're good.
No.
I think that I don't know. I think another thing is that because it's also kind of hard to gauge how. Well, obviously, since we don't speak Japanese, unfortunately, we don't have a good gauge of like very minute things that we know about the global player base and what they think that like what the JP player base thinks. But
No, you're right.
I wonder if the JP player base wouldn't be happy with the 2 versions like syncing up, because I wonder if they would feel that same thing that you were kind of saying. It's like, well, this version literally, is the same thing in English, which they also speak, by the way. It's mandatory to take Japanese in Japan, from at least what I understand. So, and they, they're getting all these like discounts. They got Peel Off's Trove. They got banner discounts. Obviously, the discounts tend to be a little bit less expensive on global. Literally discounts to the discounts. And I don't know. I would assume that like for the JP player base, they'd be like, I don't know about that one, Chief, and maybe even Bandai knows that, or I guess Akatsuki knows that.
I feel they probably do, because if they did ever sync up the versions, you would either have to take tickets away from global and discounts, which, that would be bad, very bad.
Yeah, people would not be happy with that.
They either do that or give it to JP, which would be good. But at the same time, I could feel a lot of the vocal minority probably would complain that it takes away from global being unique. It sounds dumb, but you can imagine when global players, not to call anyone out, but when global players complain about one difference in a celebration that JP got when we didn't, imagine JP getting exactly the same thing as global, and then they'd probably still find a way to complain.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm not even gonna, bro. You're the
Right,
Reddit browser. I'm not gonna touch that with a 10-foot pole, bro.
Understandable. No, that's the issue of peel off the Strove, and if that'll fly on the JP version.
Yeah, I don't know how that works.
Yeah.
If there's something related to I don't think there's anything related to Japanese gacha law with that. I'm not sure.
There has to be a reason it has to be on JP, though. You know what I mean?
I mean, I do have a diabolical reason why it's not on JP.
Extorting money off global.
No, the opposite actually. Extorting money off of JP. Because
Piotr has some better deals. Sometimes.
Yes, and global sales also tend to be a bit better, all things considered. So I almost wonder if they know that, you know, obviously JP makes them a little bit more money than global, which is also crazy to think considering it's one country compared to Zawarudo. But, you know, I do wonder if they keep it a little bit more expensive on JP just because that they know that those JP whales will spend no matter what the price, and they can just kind of get away with it.
Who knows? That could also be the reason why it doesn't have discounts.
Yeah, I mean, that's just what's so crazy to me too. Is it like Global has had all these crazy discounts on just like regular banners, you know, like
like Beerus and Kefla. Who those were?
I mean, low key that was bait, but it was really good bait.
Oh no, it was massive bait. Like you can't deny it was bait, but it was the best bait we've had ever.
True,
like
true.
That's the best pre-anniversary bait I've seen in a gacha game. Period. I cooked that bait and I ate that bait up.
The homie literally said no cap on Kami, bro. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. It could be, you know, I would like to think that Mr. Akatsuki is not necessarily that diabolical, but I mean, considering that they make billions, I wouldn't be surprised. So I don't know. There's that sort of contributes it, which is interesting that that's almost like more so a JP problem than like something that's the issue on global. But I think that it would also, I think that it would also just be harder because then the thing is, like, going back to the development thing, sort of, I mean, I guess they were kind of prepped for 350, so maybe this doesn't apply. But then they have to make, like, double the promotional material at the same time. And obviously...
I'll let you finish, but I just thought of another thing, actually.
I was going to say for download celebrations, obviously they do that. Every year they've had, like, a promotional video for a download celebration. They've had it in both languages. I mean, we got the Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. And then we got the Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle.
I love English, though.
Good meme. But like, you know, then I guess when it comes to other celebrations that are a little bit bigger, they have some time rather to kind of prepare their marketing for bigger celebrations. You know, like they don't have to market Fifth Annie at the same time is basically what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I suppose that's a dub.
Yeah. I was going to say, imagine if they ever did sync up. Download celebrations wouldn't even really matter in a way, almost. Because the main appeal of them is gone.
No, that's true.
Global and JP celebrating at the same time, and if the versions ever sync up, at that point, why celebrate them, you know?
Bruh. Well, I mean, it's also, I don't know if I would say the main appeal is that both versions are synced up. I mean, I always enjoy that a lot because it's always cool. Like, even though, you know, I think most people who play global and JP, at least if they don't play both, they at least indulge in a little bit of information from both versions, at least if you're over here in the West. I don't know if JP players keep an eye on global because, I mean, I suppose for them it's almost kind of pointless because it's like, well, you know, there's nothing new here for me. I mean, I guess unless it's like an SSBK situation, but that's a little bit of a special case. But, like, I don't know if I would say that's the main appeal. I mean, it is, you know, they're just downloading they're just celebrating the fact that they got a dumb number of downloads for the game. I definitely think that...
Actually,
Wait, what?
sorry to cut you off, but that was actually what I was going to mention, because keep in mind what the celebration was named this year.
That is true. The worldwide campaign celebration.
I think they're dropping the download sort of moniker at this point.
Yeah, maybe.
And if they do, what's the point of changing the name at that rate? Because the game is a worldwide game at that rate.
Why the worldwide?
Why name it the worldwide celebration when the game is already worldwide?
No, you're right. You're right. You got me there for sure. And I mean, they do refer to, you know, like both versions sometimes. Like they say, like, you know, oh, this is global and this is, you know, the Japanese
the international version.
Yeah. Isn't that what they call it? Or do they call it global?
They call it the international version.
I mean, to be fair, a lot of the Dokkan terms that we use are just things that have been coined and used in the community for a long time. Yeah. It's almost kind of like how, you know, how like Ultimate Gohan, I think. Was it Ultimate Gohan or Mystic Gohan that was a fan term?
Mystic, I think, was the fan term.
Yeah, and then like it got incorporated into some official media or whatever.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. I'm trying to think if there's another thing that I can think of, but nothing's coming to mind at the moment.
I think that just means we probably got all our thoughts out of it.
I think so, bro. We've been talking for like a half an hour already. I don't know. I mean, I don't think I would want both versions to sync up because, you know, I think it's cool that people have a little bit of foresight. You know, I mean, I think that there's not many games like that where you can kind of sort of anticipate the content, you know, upcoming, and then you can kind of decide on what you want to summon for in that way. I do think that that is pretty unique. And obviously, you know, from the JP side of things, I mean, it is also exciting to be like, you know, the ones with the shiny new toy, you know what I mean? And it's like, wow, you know, look how hype this is, you know, like we get it first, which is like, you know, it's cool. And it's like, obviously that isn't me saying like, you know, I don't want Global to get Turles ever. That's just me being like, yeah, bro, that's kind of sick, bro. You know, it's like when you're the first person to like pre-order something, or you get like the first shipment of like a product or something. You're like, yo, that's kind of sick, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, stuff like that does cause divide in a way. I feel like the issues that would come if the games ever merged would almost outweigh that. Yeah, being the issue currently in a way. You know what I mean?
And in a way, I almost kind of think that it, weirdly enough, sort of causes a unity, because it's like global players, I guess, in a weird kind of way have, I don't want to say respect for the JP version, but like, you know, they still care about the JP version to an extent because they can anticipate what's on the way. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, for some games, you literally have no idea. And I mean, to be fair, I mean, I guess it also depends on the degree that you play Dokkan to and how seriously, quote unquote, you take it. Because even though, I mean, Dokkan is kind of a hard game to take seriously, I suppose. But, you know, it's like I play a bunch of gacha games, and I play some gacha games that also have a JP version. But like, I don't want to say I don't care about what's upcoming on JP, but I just like play global and kind of vibe. So I don't know. Maybe it's just sort of a Dokkan community thing. I mean, obviously I know that there's a lot of communities that do take a look at the Japanese version for upcoming stuff, but I feel like that mentality is very global. You know what I mean? Because I mean, again, like what do JP players, the benefit of them having it looking at global information is? Again, unless it's like SSBK or something like that.
And
Um,
plus, when it comes, oh wait, go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say no. Continue with your
Sure.
thought because I think mine might be a little bit longer.
Okay. Well, I was gonna say, if anything else with me, it's like the stuff with like the worldwide or dual celebrations. Like, if we ever did, like, it feels special when it's like two versions getting something at the same time.
Agreed.
And if we ever just synced up, we would always get things at the same time. I feel like we'd lose a part of what makes the community so tight knit in a way.
And special, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I 100% agree with that. I was gonna say, question then for you.
Yeah.
Do you think that then devalues global or yeah, does that devalue global firsts? Because like to me the general consensus seemed to be even from, and again, maybe this is just JP players who are English speaking, you know, and not like JP players who
Mhm.
play, you know, or Japanese players who play JP, but I think that the general consensus is that people like global firsts,
Mhm.
but do you think that they're more of a detriment, or do you think, I don't want to say a bad thing because I don't think that they're a bad thing necessarily, but you know, they do kind of, like we were saying before, mess up that whole schedule real quick.
Mhm.
What do you think?
I think the best way to put it is the fact global first are good, but I feel like they have to be put at a good time, if that makes any sense. Like,
Hmm.
and also
Interesting.
also depends because I don't know. I guess just it depends the timing on when they do the global first to me.
Mm-hmm. Like, what would be
That's
good
I think
timing?
advanced. I mean, probably as when they don't want to pull a banner off of JP, if anything, and move something forward.
Mm.
Probably just the global first. Make it for like holidays, like Christmas was a good time for global firsts. I feel.
I mean, this probably would have been a good time for Global First if we weren't in the current situation of almost being
Mm.
up to JP's
It
banners.
depends because I don't know. Depends because a global first for Halloween, not that bad, but I kind of feel like almost shoehorned in a way.
Yeah. I mean, I know a lot of people kind of did feel a little shafted that it's like, you know, JP
Mm.
got everything that Global got and Turles, you know, even though I know he's not
Mm.
Dokkan Fest, but still,
Yeah.
it was like, bro, that's a whole new unit right there. And I mean, I feel like, you know, excuse me, people understand that LRs are a little bit more reasonable to kind of not expect to pull them just because they're
Yeah.
obviously a lot more rare. So I don't know. It would have been interesting to see if they would have done something like that. But I definitely don't think that this time around it would have been smart considering
No, I
how
agree.
close both versions are. But I mean, I do hope that we do get one more because
Mm.
is SSBK the only one?
Well, it's Tech Hit. It was also global first,
Ah, yes, that is
and
correct.
STRUA Goku, and Go Bros, and Tech
Wait,
LR Broly.
STRUI go. Wait.
Yeah, it feels a while.
Oh,
It feels a while, hasn't it?
huh. Yeah, I guess Globros. Glo. I'm just gonna call them
They do be
Globros.
the Glow Bros though.
GoBros was first. I mean, if you really want to count it, bro, before they made it a big deal, technically STR Broly was global first.
No, you are correct. He was.
Yeah, but I mean, I
For
don't
like
know if I
a few
really
days.
count that because they kind of don't consider that the case. Because, I mean, they also
Mm.
didn't really reference the versions between each other that much back then, so
No, you are right. Yeah.
a little bit different. But yeah, so I don't know. I think we've gotten everything out by this point.
Yeah.
Definitely let us know your thoughts in the comments section below.
Yeah.
We wanted to talk
Definitely
about
want to know
this.
what you guys like.
Oh, 100%. Because like we're probably not going to get a chance to, you know, have something like this happen again considering that,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, I don't know. I guess we'll have to see if they end up getting closer. I don't think that they ever will, because like what
I don't think
opportunity
so.
will they have?
They're gonna find a way to get the schedule a bit more aligned in the coming time, I feel.
It'll be interesting to see how they do though, because
Mhm.
I genuinely wonder like what they'll do, because it's so weird because they have to like make up fluff
Mhm.
to, you know, like pad it out in a weird kind
Yeah.
of way. But then at
Like I
the
said,
same
it's either JP speeds up a lot in the coming time, which around this time I wouldn't be surprised, or
yeah.
Global just kind of lays low for a bit, get some filler, returning LR banners, basically, like just some padding, or
Yeah.
both. Who knows?
Sub padding. That's just such a weird way to put it, but I mean, I guess
It
you're
is.
right.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah. Sorry
know.
to cut you off, by the
No, you're
way.
good. Well, we'll have to see what happens, all things
Yeah.
considered.
Only time will tell.
Only time will tell, indeed. But yeah, definitely leave your thoughts in the comment section below because we want to hear it.
Yeah.
What you're thinking. If you have any, you know, I don't want to say solutions because I don't know if I would say it's a problem necessarily.
Not a problem, but a point of interest, I suppose.
Yeah, something like that, bro. No, but you're definitely right. I mean, it is, you know, it's definitely something to like be wary of, I guess would be a
Mhm.
good way to
Exactly.
describe
Yeah,
it.
that's how I put it.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
hope that I hope that they figure out a way. I mean, they've done so in the past, so
Maybe.
we'll see. I kind of hope though for the global dev's sake that they don't do what they did for this, because even though I don't think it's that big of a deal with the
Mhm.
whole you know, Halloween banner thing, I think that people won't be too happy if they do something like this again.
I doubt they're gonna do it anytime soon.
I sure hope not.
Because I feel like this, like, because the thing with, funny enough, I think it was honestly a good idea to do this.
Bruh?
Because because in a way, like, if you're making a Halloween celebration, unless you make a Halloween Dokkan Fest or a Halloween themed unit, I feel like in a way anything else just feels shoehorned in.
Yeah, but is it hard? I don't know. Do other people think that? I mean, obviously it's your opinion, so it's
I
not like
that could very be that could very a very unpopular opinion. So
yeah,
like,
definitely let them know.
I'd rather kind of like, I don't know, like, it's
Thank you,
one
Car.
thing if the banner was complete bad, like just very bad units on it, but the fact that it's very like not niche units, but like units that haven't been on as many banners as like some others besides Fizz Vegeta,
And are good.
they're very good units, sought after units, and plus you get a free multi. There's a good pack, discounted multi too. Like, sure, it's not no new shiny toy, but like I always wondered why Dokkan never did. Like, remember way back when we had the type Dokkan Fest banners?
You mean, yeah, that had like the support units, right?
No, I'm talking about the banners that you had like one or two multis on. It was like the features were like AGL Vegito. Like it was like it was the type Dokkan Fest, like
Oh, yeah,
those.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I completely forgot about those. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and is this not in a way the same thing as that?
I guess, in a weird kind of way.
And has anybody complained about those before?
I mean, the thing was about those is that there was a new unit active during those banners. And ironically enough that you say that, from my memory, and it could be foggy because that was like years ago at this point,
Hmm.
but people kind of thought that they were stupid only because
Really?
a lot of people thought that it's like, what's the point of summoning on this? But then again, maybe that was only because the people who were speaking up were people who already had those units.
That's probably the case because like I for one could like here's like I could say that this banner on how the Howling banner is pure garbage because I have like 6 out of the 7 units on it.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, most people probably don't.
True.
Who summoned on its future Gohan? My point exactly.
Okay, but to be fair, bro, yo, shout out to the homie T-Tash if he watched this far. Who gassed up Future Gohan on his release, bro? And now everybody's like, yo, Future Gohan's back. And I'm like, none of you cared.
Yeah, no, that is there.
Bro, who? I don't know, man. Who's gassing my man's up? I want to know. Stand up.
No, that's definitely fair. It's like, it's weird. There's so many sides to the argument you could say.
Yeah. I mean, I'm glad that he's back. I'm not saying that I don't think that it's a good thing that a unit that hasn't been back before is back, but it's just so funny to me that everybody was like, I don't know, bro, Future Gohan kind of mid, and now everybody's like,
yeah, no, you're definitely right.
Yeah. I don't know, bro. Catching the homies lacking, low key.
Yep, definitely.
Global. What are we gonna do with you?
Not catch up to JP. That's what. Got him. Oh boy. I think we've said our piece.
Definitely, bro. We talked for like 15 more minutes since we're like, yeah, we're getting out of here.
Like we said, let us know in the comments.
Yes,
what you guys think.
100%. We always like seeing them, and we hope you're enjoying the podcast, because I know last video we had a comment as well. One of the boys was a brand new viewer, so thank you. I appreciate it.
Nice, very nice. Always happy to welcome more aboard the channel.
Yes, of course. I did want to tell you, by the way, because we've been hyping it up a little bit. I want to tell you just a little bit about what we're gonna do for episode 50. If you'd like to leave now, by the way, you're good, because we're not gonna discuss anything else new. But we've been planning to do something special for episode 50, because obviously that's a pretty long time, bro. And all of these podcasts are like an hour and a half long. Sometimes 2. In the case of Hanton X Live 4. Wait, what'd you say? This is our life now. Oh yeah.
This is our life now. This is what we put our time in.
I want to see. I wonder if we could get some numbers on how many days we've technically had a podcast episode be. You know, like add up the hours and see how much it would be total.
Comment section. I'm gonna look out for that.
How many
add up
days?
All the episodes, see how many hours.
Yeah, bro, have we had like 2 days worth of podcast content exist?
That would be ridiculous.
That would be ridiculous. But we did want to do something special for episode 50, and this was actually something that we actually discussed. If memory serves, this was a long time ago now, obviously. Way back in episode 1, bro. Our first episode about Dragon Ball Heroes, funny enough.
That was our first episode. Wow.
Yes, we talked about Heroes. Probably my recommendation, because I'm a Heroes simp.
But of course.
We wanted to do a little game show meme for the podcast since then. And we are hopefully going to be able to do that with some special guests. I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you who it is, because I'd like to leave it for a surprise. We might even do like a little... Wait, what?
You'll find out soon enough.
Exactly. I might even do like a little like promo image on Twitter or something for like a, hey, look who's coming. So...
that'll be funny.
It will be some guests, though, that have all been on the podcast before, because, as you guys know, the way that we like to run things around here is we like to interview people first, and then we have them return either for a topic or, you know, whatever else we do on the episode. So it is going to be guests that we have interviewed before, and it will be a few is what we're aiming for. So if you'd like to... you know, scrounge around through the Extreme Z podcast playlist and see if you can't, you know, use your big brain and figure it out. Big brain. Definitely. You know, if I see a comment, I don't know, you'll get like a cookie or something, bro. But anyway, so look forward to that. That'll be, well, I mean, hopefully, next in 2 Sundays.
No, not hopefully, it will.
Well, I don't know, man.
Promise.
Bro, hold on, bro. Sometimes things don't go as well as, we want them to. We've had to delay episodes sometimes, so, I mean...
Well, they will.
I mean, considering it's such a special episode, we will do our absolute best to have that one, of all things, not be delayed. So, I mean, there's no reason it would be at the current
Watch,
time.
I say this now, and they were to record, I'm gonna be dying.
Kayvon's like, yeah, bro, I actually exploded my left big toe. I'm gonna have to sit this one out, bro. I'll be like, okay.
I can't speak. The TV was off. My controller's not turned on.
Thank you, Donkey. Oh, man. But anyway, that is going to do it for today's episode. We hope you guys enjoyed. Again, give us your thoughts in the comment section below, and as well your just general thoughts on the podcast as well, because we always like to hear them. Yeah, that's it, bro. Simp for Dragon Ball Heroes, I guess. If you want to, I don't know. From all of us here at the Extreme Z Podcast, stay safe out there, and we'll see you in the next one.
Take care, everyone.